Hello, everyone. This is Cody Lee of BlackCatBooks.org and author of Cruel and Beautiful, Eye of the Dragon, and The Hero 7. Here I am with a review of Beastars volume number, what volume are we on now? Like 5? 5 volumes into this shit. Here I am just eating this shit up like a carnivore going after a herbivore, a wolf going after a rabbit. For some reason, I can't stop reading this, even though this is frustratingly slow paced. You know, like basically nothing happened in volume 4. I kind of said as much. There were a couple of major events, a couple of major developments with the characters and their relationship like that, and at the end Haru was kidnapped by a gang of lions. Very last panel of volume 4, after all this like character drama, like romantic love square bullshit, we cut to the last panel and like Haru is getting kidnapped, and I'm just like, okay, shit's getting real with volume 5, and that's kind of true and kind of not, because like for 60% of this volume, right, like from the minute they sort of like build up the whole like Haru thing, you know, what's going on with her, like how characters are reacting to it, the whole situation escalating, like you have this impression that like shit's about to go down. You have this impression that shit's about to get real, that this story is about to get really hardcore. And it kind of does. Like, I'm not gonna lie and say that like Legoshi sort of going off on his own, you know, meeting up with Gohin, the panda, Mr. Panda. He didn't. I legit thought Panda was his name. Apparently, like she retconned it, so the mangaka retconned it, so it's like Gohin now. But yeah, Gohin the panda, most badass character. Legoshi goes out, finds this guy, and he's just like, "Hey, my rabbit GF is in trouble, and I'm gonna go rescue her." And Gohin is just immediately just like, "Okay," with no explanation given. And the two of them go ahead and take on a gang of 35 lions. They explicitly say this. There are 35 members of this lion syndicate, and Legoshi just shows up, beats the shit out of all of them, including their boss, and saves Haru in, I want to say like 50 pages of this. Like, it's really quick. It is like the quickest rescue arc I've ever fucking seen in anything ever. Like, it's like Legoshi legit only gets into 2 fights at the door, and when he comes up to like the boss's room. Like, there's no challenges. There's nothing in between there. It's like they only have like a handful of guys at the front gate, and Legoshi is able to like overpower these adult lions who are like, you know, way bigger than wolves, by the way. He's able to like completely overpower them because he's so fucking badass. And the panda is, you know, fucking Gohin is so hardcore, he's able to take out the rest of them. So like they take out like, you know, I legit think it's like 7 or 8 lions like between them, and then Legoshi goes up by himself and then like beats the shit out of like the lion boss, the one who like kidnapped Haru. The only reason they kidnapped her was for her meat, by the way. There was no like this doesn't tie into any other like pre-existing plot threads. This just legit happened. Like, Haru was kidnapped because she was a white rabbit, and the boss specifically wanted a rabbit with a herbivore with like pure white fur. So that's the only reason she was kidnapped. It has nothing to do with like everything else that's going on in the city. Like, it just kind of happens, and then like Legoshi and like Haru become closer as a result. It sucks. I have to like just kind of acknowledge this. It was a lot of fun to read the rescue scene, like see Legoshi, like it was all really intense and exciting. But it just kind of happened. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of happened. You know, after all that build-up, it just kind of happened, and oh yeah, now we're chilling in a hotel room together. Why didn't they go back to school? Like, why are they dicking around in town? Just go back. Like, why'd you go out to eat? Why are you going to a love hotel together? Why don't you just go back to school and explain what happened? It's just one of those things where you're just like, really? That's where they decided to go with it? Like, I am like forced to conclude at this moment that although like Beastars has like a lot of darker elements, it has like the potential to be a really really good like societal commentary on like this world of like, you know, on interactions between like people of like different social classes and how like they can affect their relationships and stuff like that. A drama like. Even though it does that kind of thing, like it has the potential to do that, but it kind of seems ultra focused on this really particular aspect. Like everything about the world, like the setting, like the conflicts the characters get in, it's all really, really engaging as fuck. But the author seems most interested in is depicting the relationship between Legoshi and Haru. Like Haru is still my least favorite character. I don't care about her justification for her thoughtery. I don't care about her attitude. I don't think she's complex. I just think she's a thought. Like that's all there is to her. Like she's not a particularly interesting character. She's not worth fighting for. She's not someone worth protecting. Like she's not someone that I really rooting for Legoshi to save. The main reason I was invested in what was happening was because like Legoshi was so affected, who I do like as a character. I like Legoshi a lot. Both the main reason this arc was so interesting, and one of the reasons I kind of wanted it to go on a little bit longer was that like there's something about it that really sticks out to me as being like really really unique. Something that like I don't think has really really been done before. Beastars kind of does this in general. I think it's mostly because of like the whole animal people aesthetic. But Louis, you know, Haru's actual, you know, love interest, boyfriend, the one who's actually fucking her, like the Chad in this situation, right? He is also made aware of what's happening with these gangs of lions and stuff like that, and he somehow I don't understand why like the mayor of the entire fucking city is there at Sherrington Academy. They kind of just gloss over it. He's just kind of there, just kind of grabs the calling card from the syndicate, the Lion Syndicate, and then he just like tears it up, and he's just like, not my problem. I'm worried about re-election, bro. I can't have my image tarnished by a bunch of lion criminals. So yeah, he basically just ignores the fact that it happened, and Louis is told this by him, and they actually have a discussion. They actually had like this political discussion about how it was necessary to allow Haru to be kidnapped and eaten, and like for them to allow it to happen. According to like you know, the mayor, I don't quite remember his name. We'll call him like Simba at this point. Fucking Simba tells Louis that like, yeah, if you want to be the next Beastar, you're going to let this go. You're going to like not tell anyone about this. I'm telling you because it's necessary for you as the next Beastar to like know about these situations and deal with them as they arise appropriately. The real world is very very like shady on the underground. Like how we present ourselves to the people of our civilization aren't who we really are, right? That's kind of like a reoccurring theme with the carnivores, is that like they're creatures that like sort of put on this facade. Like they have to like actively work towards like being like functional members of society. They actually have to like suppress their like natural desires to like eat meat, to eat rabbits, to eat these fucking things. So some people reject these feelings like Legoshi. Then you have like people like Bill who embrace it, and then you have like people like this mayor guy who seem to like go to great lengths to present themselves as being like, you know, one of the team, like one of the good guys, like one of the good lions, like someone who would never ever partake in eating meat, but who isn't really, because like, you know, he's allowing this crazy shit to happen for his own political gain, and he basically tells Louis this. And Louis, because he's a little pussy-ass bitch, a little bitch-ass deer, like, he just goes along with it at first, and he's just like, okay, yeah, sure, whatever. And then he leaves, and then, like, Legoshi, like, immediately comes up to him, like, tells him about it, and Louis tells him to fuck off, I want to be the next Beastar. And then Legoshi beats the crap out of them, and they have this, like, anime fight. and Legoshi runs off and saves the day all by himself. Now Louis shows up later on and like shoots the lion in the back of the head, but like Legoshi and Haru don't actually see him. There was no reason for him to be there. Like I don't believe for a second he actually got killed off. Like they're not gonna kill off fucking Louis. Like not until like the very end. Like they're not gonna do that. Like maybe if I read volume 6, they'll go into a little bit more detail about like the actual fate of Louis. But yeah, let it be known that I 100% do not believe that Louis is dead. I 100% believe that Louis is completely fine and that somehow he's not going to get fucked with by the lions. I'm not sure how that's going to come to pass. Like with having just shot one in the back of the head and like just being specifically told not to do this by the mayor. So like it seems like it's going to be setting him up for like some kind of like disaster of a situation. I don't know like what it's going to look like, how it's going to be, what that's going to result in, but yeah, like I 100% don't believe he's dead. I don't even know why they even bothered like trying to fake us out like this. It's one of those things that it's just wasn't necessary. I don't think it added anything to the story. Like Louis could have been like cut from this volume completely after that bit where like Legoshi punches him, and you wouldn't have missed anything. Like it's just like Louis is a great character. He is, he is my favorite character. But like this is, I think, a really good This was, I think, like a really good opportunity to flesh out Haru as a character and really make you care about what's happening to her. And unfortunately, to me, she's just a generic herbivore she's just a generic white rabbit, right? Like I don't care about her in the slightest. Fuck Haru, I don't care at all. Like all these, like I wasn't invested in that at all. The story, I really want to address this because I don't think I think I've alluded to my feelings on this in the past, but I don't think I've like outright come out and like said as much in any of my videos regarding this series. But like this thing really seems to like to emphasize like this series really seems to think that there's some kind of association between like predator and prey and like being like lovers. Like that's kind of like the weird sort of like they have this weird sexualization of this idea of like carnivores devouring herbivores, right? Like you always like the main couple of this is like a wolf and a rabbit, right? The wolf like longing to like devour the rabbit and shit like that, and like Haru keeps getting in these like sexual situations, very sexually charged situations, where like she's about to be eaten, and I just like it's one of those bizarre like what are they trying to do here? Like really, like the guy who kidnaps her like makes her strip down and like talks all this shit about like how she needs to be humiliated so like her blood flows faster, so like her meat tastes more tender, and I'm just like, yeah, sure, whatever, bro. Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's a good way to justify it. Sure, like justify all these weird shots of rabbits. I don't like the whole like sexualization of like the animal characters in general. Like they put way too much emphasis on that. I think it's really creepy. I do. Like when you see like Louis and Haru having sex, I'm just like, come on. When you see like this scene, like Haru stripping down, like because the lion tells her to, it's just like, fuck this. It's dumb. And like, I don't know where the author is going with this. Like, I think it's just appealing to her, maybe. Like, is she a fucking furry? That's kind of the impression I get, is that like she just sexualizes these fucking animals, and I just weirdly the girls though as well. It's kind of weird. I guess furries tend to like have that tendency to like sexualize both sexes, but I don't really enjoy it. I'm not into that at all. But yeah, But yeah, generally speaking, the volume was perfectly fine. I enjoyed it. It's I don't want to call it like great or anything. It was no volume 3, but I don't know. It was exciting. It did a lot to like really sell me on this idea that like Beastars could handle action-packed segments, and yeah, it could have done that better. It could have been like more involved. It could have like done more with it. Like some of those panels where like Legoshi is like fighting the beast, is like fighting the lion, is like fighting the lions are like really really cool. Like there are lots of guns in this. Like I don't know what it is, but like something about like characters in Beastars like whipping out guns is like the coolest fucking thing in the world to me. Like the panda pulls out a gun. Like Louis has pulled out a gun a couple of times. It's great. It's great stuff. I love it. I love it. I can't get enough of that shit. I adore fucking guns in Beastars. Yeah, we need more guns everywhere. Period. But especially in America. But yeah, I think that's all I have to say about this one. Yeah, I can't say I'm a fan of the romantic melodrama. Like, yeah, I don't like Haru. I don't like this whole thing. Some plot elements kind of make me feel like scratching my head, being like, really? They're really going to try to convince me that Louis is going to fucking die? That's not going to happen. I'm very excited about reading Beastars Volume 6. At this point, I'll get through the entire series in like a week or some shit. But yeah, until then, I will see you all next time. Be sure to check out my website at blackcatbooks.org, and until next time.